Howdy, welcome. I am here with my next guest. We are talking about drive, and this is why we're in a car. What drives us to our next location? Annie, welcome to the launch of Drive.
Yes, thank you, Diana, for the invite.
Thank you. Do you get the concept now, the drive?
Yes, it's lovely. I love the pun.
Okay, the first question I ask all my guests is, when you were growing up, what did you want to be?
My mind, I had thoughts of being a field biologist.
Wow.
It's been a really long time since I've thought about this.
Wow.
Yeah. But I love sort of wildlife.
Yes.
I donated as a child to the World Wildlife Fund.
Yes.
And I loved, they had these fact cards about them.
Yes.
And just learning about nature and enjoying being out.
Beautiful.
World
Yes.
and scientific discovery. So that was certainly not what I'm doing now, but that was what I thought I might be.
And so the next question is, what do you do now? What's your role now?
A harder question.
Yes.
A harder question to answer than it might seem.
Yes.
I am, I guess, technically a COO of Premier Dental. It's my family dental clinic.
Yes.
I handle the operations,
Yes.
but really I'm more hands-off on that because I've delegated to office managers.
Love delegating.
Yes.
Yes.
Lifesaver.
Right.
And also I've, I can dedicate my time to more value-added work, such as business development and marketing and all of that. But I'm also a mom of two.
Yes.
I also just came back from a 3-hour lecture teaching business law.
Wow.
To
because that
college students.
Because that's what you did study.
Yes.
You were a lawyer.
Yes, that's
Went
right.
to Yale.
Yes, undergrad. Yes.
It's kind of like balancing all these roles.
Yes, that's right.
Wow.
So COO.
Running around a bit.
Yes.
Yes.
My schedule is a little bit hectic.
Yes.
And I'm juggling quite a few things.
Yes.
But it's been very rewarding, all of those aspects.
Being here in Vietnam, I feel like you are constantly rewarded because you're always moving forward.
Yes.
You collect. I feel like it's easy to collect Pokemons here. Like, because you're always on the go, right? I feel like you're always moving forward, and you're always like, "What's this? What's that?" There's a curiosity.
Yes.
Like, what's rewarding about doing the work that you do in multiple streams of work?
Yes. I find each thing rewarding in a different
Yes.
way. So in my role as owner and manager of my family's dental clinic, I'm
Yes.
continuing my dad's legacy.
Wow.
He's been a dentist for 45
Wow.
years. He's put 20 plus years into the clinic.
Yes.
And he's built something really great and brought things that he learned from abroad
Yes.
back here
Yes.
and taught a lot of other dentists.
Yes.
So I'm continuing my dad's
Wow.
legacy along with my husband.
Yes. Is he a
Providing
dentist?
good service. Yes, he's
Oh,
a Vietnamese
wow.
Australian dentist.
Oh, really?
From Melbourne as
Oh,
well.
you've intercepted the whole.
From Melbourne as well,
fantastic.
University of Melbourne. And then I kidnapped him to New York.
That's what we do, women.
But I think we have a very big impact here, my
Yes.
husband and I,
Beautiful.
professionally.
Great.
Him on the dental profession,
Yes.
but then also with our patients,
Yes.
the type of care that we provide, and with our employees, and sort of in general.
Yes.
So very rewarding
Yes.
to work for the family business. Teaching, something that I never thought that I would have the opportunity to do.
Yes.
I've never taught before.
Okay.
And I don't have a teaching certificate. I have never thought I would go into academia.
No one needs to know that.
No, I'm a lecturer or professor, sort of like as a practitioner.
Fantastic.
With 10 plus years of legal experience. I'm
Yes.
sharing that. So, well, I mean, we're definitely on a drive.
We are on a drive.
Real drive here. When the opportunity arose,
Yes.
I jumped at it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have had the same opportunity in the U.S. And I love imparting my knowledge to students,
Yes.
and my love of the subject matter and my actual experience. So I'm trying to make it practical rather than just sort of theoretical.
Yes.
And also, aside from the subject matter,
Yes.
teaching them how to be good students,
Yes.
and being in it for the learning experience,
Yes.
and also adjusting
Oh yeah, this bus is angry.
to have a thirst for learning, and I hope I'm doing that.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yeah.
And so how do you balance all that then? All of these things that you are, like being a mother is also a full-time job.
It is.
So how do you balance all this? And keep yourself sane.
Time management is critical.
Yes.
One of the first things I do is delegation.
Yes.
Anything that I don't have to do directly myself, or someone else can do better or more easily, and I can I delegate.
Yep.
So at home, to help at home,
Yes.
I ask my parents who live a few doors down
Yes.
to take the kids a few sessions a week. There's a
Perfect.
sign-up sheet. There's a sign-up
There's
sheet.
sessions. You'd call them sessions. I love it.
I have an executive assistant.
Yeah.
I have an office manager for my dental clinics.
Yes.
And then I also have co-hosts for all of the events that I do.
Yes.
And so there's a backup. You know, if you want to be consistent in terms of the quality and the amount of times you do it, you have to have, you know, people doing it with you.
Yeah.
So delegation is one. And then I focus on what is really important to me and what do I do best.
Yes.
Where is my value add?
Wow.
And you spend your time is more important than how you spend your money.
Yes.
And so depending on my order of priority and other requirements, I put it into my schedule and I reserve time for it.
Yep.
And if anything conflicts with my schedule, I usually say no.
Wow. All about street smart. Like I find that the work that we do and the way you hustle, it's the street smart gene. We're born with it. Would you agree with that? That comes from the Vietnamese culture.
Yeah, there's something in the air, right? And I've become more so
Yes.
since coming back
More
here.
so.
More so since coming back here. So I'm the same
Wow.
person, same life experience
Yes.
growing up, but I was more kind of the environment in the U.S. is much more structured.
Yes.
You know, you work for a company, a law firm in my case, and you go and put in your hours, a lot of hours,
Yes.
a lot of work, a lot of hard work. But here it's more vibrant, it's more diverse, it's more, you have to hustle and be open to new opportunities and what you can do
Yes.
and being creative.
Yes.
And it's just become more so coming back here.
What made you come back to Vietnam? I know it's Premier Dental, but yeah, what was the pull?
What was the pull?
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't Premier Dental.
Okay.
Technically.
Yeah.
It was family.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
family. I was having my second kid.
Yes.
And my parents were here, and I
Yes.
wanted them to be around. Well, I needed their help, but I also wanted them to have a relationship with with their grandkids.
Yes.
And we were planning to actually immigrate to Australia after a short period of
Yes.
time here. But then Vietnam just pulled us in.
Wow.
Pulled us in. It wasn't COVID.
Yes.
It was 2017. It was pre-COVID.
Yes.
But we became more and more involved in Premier Dental.
Okay.
The kids are learning Vietnamese and English,
Wow.
and they're loving it.
Yes.
And we're having such an impact professionally and otherwise, and we love it here. So it's become a bit long term.
Yeah.
We came to be close to my parents while I had my second kid, and then
Yes.
we're staying for all of the reasons above.
Yeah. As a mother, watching your children interact with your parents, how has that been for you? Witnessing like language and heart, like has that been very fulfilling and rewarding? That this is why you came here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Seeing my kids develop that relationship with my parents is almost sort of filling a little bit of that hole.
Beautiful.
And my parents are different people.
Yes.
You know, they can be throwing a tantrum, and my mom is laughing.
Yes.
Not like that with me.
Yeah. No, of course not. There's a generation removed.
Yeah. So they're getting spoiled, but they're also
Yeah.
learning about family history and about
Yes.
how things used to be and
Yes.
about maybe Vietnamese culture and history, and that is beautiful. I feel very strongly about,
Yes.
and one of the reasons we're still here, and one of the
Yes.
benefits I think of being here, one of the
Yes.
huge benefits is that my kids are growing up bilingual.
Wow.
And it's a connection with our family, our
Yes.
past. My dad doesn't speak English very well. My grandmother was here for a while, so their great grandmother. They can communicate with relatives and have a connection to our past.
Yes.
You know, with the VQ
Yes.
experience,
Yes.
a lot of immigrant families, when they immigrated to the U.S. or elsewhere, thought that they would be holding their kids back by
Yes.
speaking Vietnamese at home.
Yes.
And
Oh.
therefore, this is the
So much
predicament
conflict.
that they feel like they would be doing their kids a disservice. I feel like kids have the capacity and the ability to
Yep.
pick up more than one language.
Absolutely.
Fully.
That leading to that connection of home and seeing the intergenerational love and language that is now here in Vietnam for you. You've created this nest now.
Yes.
And maintaining it and being here. So the OV, where's that connection to the OV group, and why do you co-chair and Tuesdays make that effort to do that extra work?
Yeah, you know, I should come up with a better answer to this question. I've been asked too many times not to have something ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I personally, when I decided to put down roots here,
Yes.
I needed friends.
Yes.
And so that's why I became a member or a part of OV or
Yeah.
Saigon BQs,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
community here. And then things just happened. Like
Yeah.
it seems like I have some sort of a knack
Yes.
for planning these very consistent but fun and beneficial
Yes.
events to give something back.
Yes.
You know, because I've gotten a lot from the OV community
Yes.
in terms of friendships and camaraderie and shared experience and all this, and this is a way for me to give back and help others connect, including new waves of OVs or VQs coming back
Yes.
regularly. So I'm at the stage in my life where I have the luxury of giving back, and I want to. And so this is one of the ways I'm doing it, and it's with a community that I have an affinity for.
Yes.
And I feel that we need,
Yes.
because we have we share a lot of the same experiences moving back here,
Yes.
and a lot of the same struggles. And it's a very natural group to be part of, and a very helpful one.
A young person is wanting to go up to that level of work, what would be your advice to them?
It's relatively easy, sometimes easier to have that title, especially in your own startup.
Yes.
But to be operating at a very high level professionally and in a business,
Yes.
my first advice to put in your time as an employee and to put in your time, because you can learn
Yes.
in as big and as established and as, you know, successful a company as you can,
Yes.
because you have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
And it's very competitive out there. You don't know anything a lot yet. So earlier on in your career, put in your time. The other thing is learn from established and well-run businesses out there.
Because they've set it up, haven't they?
Yes.
They've done the job.
Yes,
Now you just have to
they're
understand
doing
the
it
formula.
well. Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Another good way to sort of climb the corporate ladder, but also to build up your skills, is not to stay in one business unit or area.
Yeah.
Once you've kind of been in one position, try to kind of transition laterally or otherwise within an organization to learn about the different business units. The other thing is try to find mentors wherever you go.
Absolutely.
Learn from the people that have gone ahead of you.
Yes.
So you can avoid the pitfalls, maybe.
Repeating the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So mentors are so important as a sounding board and as somewhere you can turn to for advice.
But mentors, you realize someone has done the mistake that you haven't done yet, and if you can understand that before you do it,
Yes.
you avoid
Great.
falling deep into the well, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
It was so lovely to meet you, and I know I surprised you by putting you in a car, not kidnapping you. Everyone's freaked out every time I said get in the car. But I really wanted to see Vietnam moving, and I want to show the world that you're moving in a world that's moving, and I'm really excited about the prospect of Vietnam continually growing.
Yes.
Yeah, and so thank you for joining the drive.